Hey, Ellie, I am so far. I should have reached out to you. I totally forgot. I've been running around trying to get my little one straight to pick her up for the last day of school. I forgot to hit you up and let you know directly that I was going to be on later on. I was hoping that you would see the message, so I am so excited to see you here. What's up, love? How is it going? Let's go. Ready for the weekend? How's it going? Perfectly Imperfect, I think, is here. I think I saw him pop in. I'm not sure. Did I see him? Yeah. Hey, good afternoon. So, Perfectly Imperfect, you gave me a suggestion, so I decided to go with that one. 10 strategies on dealing with sexual energies when working on physical and emotional healing. Hey, Nita, how we doing, love? Hope everything is well with you guys. A little later than I usually go. I got a counseling session after this, too. It's going to be hectic. I was going to move it to this evening, but I don't like to schedule things in the evening because sometimes if I get bored or I'm tired, I don't feel like doing it. Stop. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. So again, if this is your first time, actually I'm saying again, I ain't saying it yet. If this is your first time here, I am Keith K.L. Belvin, crisis specialist, human service counselor, and I'm a educational consultant, author, you name it. I wear a lot of hats. Hey, welcome from California. Hope all is well. And so every Friday, normally 11:30 to about 1 o'clock I'm on, but today was the little ones. You're in crisis. What is the crisis, Lori? Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. All right. Take your time. We're going to get started in a minute. I'm just saying hello, laying down. Well, when your life is in crisis, chop it into smaller bits and start to make small changes. That way you can change everything overall. Good evening, or good afternoon, actually. And so every Friday, normally from 11:30 to 1 o'clock, I'm on and as a crisis specialist. And what we try to do here, and a human service counselor, is what I try to do here is to give information that's going to help you personally, or if you're in a relationship. I try to educate, entertain, and inform while we're here. Part of what we do here is when you come in, if you are new to the group, introduce yourself, tell us who you are and where you're from, or just tell us where you're from. We'll see who you are. And we don't have a lot of rules other than this is a safe space, so we don't come in disrespectful, because if you choose to be disrespectful, my wonderful moderator, Ellie, will probably get to you before I do. But if she misses you somehow and I get you, we don't deal with trolls and we don't go back and forth with folks on foolishness. If this is not the space for you, you do not have to be here. And we will help facilitate that instead of going back and forth with you and wasting time. Also, one of the rules, well, not really a rule, but one of the things that helps me to stay focused as a person with attention deficit, the heart's over there on the right-hand side. The more you tap the screen, believe it or not, it actually helps me focus, because a lot of times I can be all over the place. Shout out from Dallas. Hey, Rebecca. And this is what we do. Also, this is an interactive space. Yeah, I am very real. Thank you so much, Lori. I am very real. This is what I do as a profession. This is what I do for a living. And I am a professional counselor. I am the person that people contact to get in touch with when they're going through personal situations. I have a practice. Hey, Rhonda. And this is what I do. And so what I attempt to do each week is to bring subjects to the table that's going to help you as the listener to be able to take something, to take something away from what I'm offering. So when this camera's off, you have something that is going to help you right here, right now. All right, so make sure you have your pen and paper with you, because this is something that we do. Also, all of my previous shows are over on my YouTube. This show will be over on my YouTube when we're all said and done. So if you miss it or you got to leave, don't worry. Just go over to YouTube and you can actually see the rest. If you have questions, by all means, ask your questions. But I do ask that you stay on topic. Try not to just go off on a tangent, but I try to be as helpful as possible, simply because this is why we're here. As I said, I am trying to educate, entertain, and inform in what we deal with. So today we're talking about 10 strategies on dealing with sexual energies when working on your physical and emotional well-being. And actually, you can put mental/emotional well-beings. I need permanent housing in 80. I'm 80% blind. The first thing I would tell you to do is check out social services and make sure that you file for disability, because once you are registered as a person with disability, there are certain resources that kick in for you. Go to the social services and they should be able to help you find housing depending on what area of the country that you're in. And that helps as well. So how you guys' week been so far since the last time I seen you? Let's put it in the chat. Now, right now I can tell you right here, I don't see anybody tapping. What's going on? How come we not text? Texas. Okay, Texas I'm not familiar with, but I would definitely reach out to the social services. Texas does have a lot of social services that they provide, being such a large state. And first, I would make sure that you have your proof of your disability, and you should be able to gain access to housing because of your disability. No sleep at night. What are we gonna do? But there we go. I see the hearts going up. There we go. We have somebody from Texas. Thank you, Nita, for reaching out. And that's another thing that we do here. If somebody else in the chat can help you, by all means. So fill me in. How's you guys' week been going? Before we get started into today's subject, put it in the chat. Let me know how your week has been since the last time I seen you. Or if you're the first time, let me know how you've been this week. Well, you need a man. Okay. I got you. A man in what capacity? Because if you need something, you have to first look at, are you putting yourself in position to get the very thing that you need? Oh, perfectly imperfect. I'm sorry to hear that it's bad. Why is it bad, love? Hey, let's give some purple hearts for Perfectly Imperfect, who's having a rough week. Let's put some purple hearts in the chat to be able to cheer her up a little bit. Come on, that's another thing that we do here, is trying to support each other. Before I get into today's subject, let's put some purple hearts. Deceased mother's house closing in escrow. Okay. Sorry to hear about the passing of your parent. I know I lost mine a couple years ago. I can't ride myself. I need one. Okay. Well, then the first thing you have to do is just figure out where you're positioning yourself to meet a man. What you do with the man after you get him is something different. The first thing is you have to consider, how are you positioning yourself to be able to find what it is you say you're looking for. Hey, Keith, it's going up and down. My day is going well today. And okay. Listen, we got to ride that roller coaster sometimes, Patricia. But the cool thing is, try to absorb as much of the positive energy from the pluses of what's going on and hold on to that to get you through the negative. Today's your first time here? All right. Appreciate having you. And where are you checking in from? Thank you from... back in Florida for a few. Okay. Then back to Harlem it is. Okay. Listen, I'm not heading back to New York no time soon. I just came back from Maryland. I was speaking in Maryland the previous weekend. I've been lazy trying to get to retirement paperwork. It's caused. Okay. Listen, it'll come. Take your time. Take your time. And today is the last day of my 3 sons, so hopefully all is well. Yeah, I just had to go pick my little one up. Today was her last day too. Finished up on the honor roll and is going to the 4th grade. How about that? Yes, I'm checking in from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I am good. Delaware. Originally from New York, been in Delaware the last 7 years. Well, going on 7 years. I'm from Rockville right now. Rockville where? Rockville, New York. Rockville Center. Where? Rockville where? They're coming after me left and right. I'm trying to heal, but my urges make me want to... I understand. And that's something that we're going to talk about too, and how... Okay, Maryland, got you. We're going to talk about that. Perfectly Imperfect, and I appreciate you coming up with the subject. And the subject today is 10 strategies on dealing with the sexual energies that arise when you're working on your physical and mental/emotional well-being. What's up, man? I gotta ask about the finals. No basketball conversation here. I do not discuss basketball on my platform. It is not something that I focus on my regular day. It's something I do as a hobby, and when I pop in other places, I actually really don't discuss sports. Are you a therapist counselor? Because me and my boys, yes, I am. I am a professional mental health clinician. My information is in my bio, and there's a free discovery form. If you want to set up a free session with me to have a conversation, when you set up the form and you fill it out, it'll explain what my rates are and everything like that. I have a master's degree in education. I have a master's degree in human service counseling. And I've been doing professional counseling now for a couple of years. And I am a retired educator from New York. What was your question if I missed it, Nita? Questions are coming up pretty quick. So what did I miss? Week was okay, but anxiety, but I'm mad. Okay, I'm sorry. Gotcha. And I feel you on that. One of the ways that you deal with the anxiety is to take a step back and remember that you are in control of you. You may not be able to control the things around you, but you are in control with you. And we'll also talk about how breathing helps to change your anxious position and should decrease the anxiety. Hold on a second. My sister seems to believe that I should have known better. Okay, so I am missing. I can't complain. God is good, but I'll be moving to Dallas soon. Okay. And I will leave New York behind. Yes, and I've been down to New York for 7 years, and I'm not trying to go back. The buyer got a $17K concession, and I got an estimate of $5K. Sister is upset. Okay, I am sorry to hear that. And again, if I miss any of your statements, or if I miss any of your questions, or I miss any of your messages, I apologize. They move pretty quickly. So keep tapping that screen, though. Let's see those hearts go up. So let's get started. Okay. Well, sometimes, and my wife and I went through this when her grandmother was home was being sold. Sometimes you gotta cut your losses and just step back, because if you can't do anything else, you can't do anything else. You don't want to apply negative motion to something you can't control. If you did the best that you could, get what you can get out of it, and that's it. Close that door and move on to the next thing. That's all you can do. Because if we apply too much energy to something that's out of our hands, automatically we start to tear ourselves down internally, and it doesn't help us. So I'm sorry if things didn't work the way you wanted it to work, but I'm hoping that tomorrow will be a better day. All right, you guys ready? Let's get this started. We got a lot of people here. We got a lot of conversation going. I had more time. Okay, I understand. And that statement right there is a big statement for a lot of people. If I had more time. And that is the reason why we have to do what we do with the 24 hours that we have when we wake up, because nothing is guaranteed to any of us. And I think all of us could actually rock with that statement, Lord, is if we have more time. I live by the serenity prayer. Nothing wrong with that. And again, the serenity prayer is dealing. Whoa. Look at the cowboy hat there. Thank you so much for the cowboy hat. They gave us 24 hours to count it. Again, make sure that you're making your offers and you're accepting based on knowledge, not emotion. That's the best I can give you, not understanding the whole situation. I don't like to give too much advice on things that I don't have full knowledge of. But the one thing I can always tell you is don't act on emotion in very important situations. Make sure you have all the knowledge necessary. And then even if it's a crappy decision, make the best of whatever it is. So if you got to make it, just make it and deal with it afterwards. All right. So if you guys are ready, I understand. Okay, so if you guys are ready, let's get into this today. And this comes from Perfectly Imperfect, who gave me this. She responded on my page of one of the subjects that she wanted me to talk about today. So we're going to talk about 10 strategies for dealing with sexual energies when working on physical and mental and emotional healing. You guys ready? Put 1 in the chat. Let me see if I can get 10 ones in the chat and we can get ready to get started. Well, I can't tell you what you should tell your sister. You have to go on what works for you. Okay? And again, I don't like to give information when I don't have full information on the situation, because I don't want to lead you or mislead you in the wrong direction. I would just simply make sure you're making your best decision based on as much knowledge as you can have under the circumstances. And again, I hope that helps. All right, so I see the ones going up in the chat. Let's get a couple more. We're going to get ready to get started. And you guys ready? Okay. 10 strategies for dealing with sexual energies when working on physical and mental and emotional healing. You are very welcome. So, number 1, since I see the ones going up, and super moderator Ellie, hold on. Before we go any further, let's give Ellie some purple hearts, because when she is the moderator in this group, she allows me to do a lot of the things that I do without having to worry about the chat. And she does it for free. She volunteers. So let's give some purple hearts to Ellie, and I'm going to go ahead and start this list for you guys. And I hope you have your pens or your laptops. There we go. Let's give Ellie some purple hearts, because when somebody offers their time to be with you to help you, please don't take it for granted, and please don't overlook it. I do what I do, but I do it better because I have someone like Ellie who's helping me out in the chat. So shout out to Ellie. Appreciate you. Love what you do. All right, so here we go. Number one, right? On the 10 things. And again, if this is your first time here, Ellie will go back over it in the chat if you miss it. So don't worry if you miss it. And if you have a question, go ahead and shoot it out into the chat. If I miss it, Ellie will remind me. And again, all I ask is that you tap that screen over there. Right now, the heartbeat is looking real weak over there. We don't have a strong heartbeat over there. Y'all are my heartbeat. So y'all keep that heartbeat going. Hey, Rocksteady. Y'all keep that heartbeat going. The heartbeat is still fluttering like, there we go. There's a strong heartbeat. That's what I look at over there to see how the heartbeat is going. So number one on the list of 10 strategies on dealing with sexual energy, and it's important because Perfect said, you know, how do you deal with this if you struggle with it? One of the first things that I put on the list was meditation and mindfulness practices. Now, I'll explain to you what mindfulness practice is in a minute, but meditation and mindfulness practice. I would even add prayer in that as well with number one. Meditation, prayer, and mindfulness practices, right? Because meditation and mindfulness practices can help you focus your mind and release tension, including sexual energy. These practices can also help you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions and develop a greater self-control. Mindfulness is staying in the moment. Okay, you want to have sex. Okay, your body is reacting to wanting to be pleasured. But if you've made this decision not to do that, if you've made this decision that now is not the right time, if you've made this decision that you don't have the right partner, or you've made the decision that I'm just cutting that off because I'm working on me physically, and I'm working on me mentally, and I'm working on me emotionally, well, mindfulness allows you to stay in that zone to be able to help yourself gain the control that you need. Yes. And not just being disciplined and professional, that is true, but we have to learn where that starts from, because discipline is very difficult if it's not something that you practice. So the mindfulness will allow you to get to that point of being disciplined, and the discernment is the judgment that you make. So without question. And being professional, I can see that where that plays, but if you're all alone, professional is what it is. At the end, we still have to find a way to be able to control ourselves to not make moves based on the emotion, based on the sexual gratification. And yes, delayed gratification. Actually, we want to remove the fact that we believe that we need it. We want it, yes. Will you die if you don't have sex? No, you will not. It'll feel like it, but you will not die if you don't have sex. But we have to be able to replace the emotion that comes from it, the physical feelings that we have, as well as, and remember, mental is how you think, emotional is how you feel, and the physical is the physical. So that speaks for itself. So the first one is meditation, prayer, and mindfulness practice. All right. We do that. We're going to actually put ourselves in a better position to control ourselves. Again, remember, we're trying to heal. Now, these are practices that you can use every day. Don't get me wrong. But what we're looking at is you're in a position of healing. That's the way it was presented to me when Perfectly Imperfect presented it to me. And when you're healing, you have to give yourself a chance to heal, because you don't want to be back out here starting something intimate, something sexual, and you're not completely where you need to be. You could be opening up a whole new wound or creating a whole different situation that could only come back to hurt you. And I appreciate the heartbeat over there. Let's keep it going. You are all right just where you are. There you go. All right, so you guys ready for number 2? Let me get 10 twos in the chat. We're going to go on to number 2 in the 10 strategies for dealing with sexual energies when working on physical, mental, and emotional healing. Let's get 10 twos in the chat. I opened up a wound. Now I'm hurt. Yes, and that's the danger of not healing first before you go out to be intimate, because you could be doing more damage. Even though you may have immediate pleasure, you could be doing long-term damage that will take you longer to heal, that the physical pleasure will not heal over time. Don't destroy positioning because you give in to weakness. So we're going to look to rebuild your fortress around yourself. No, not ready. Yeah. Well, this is why we have the conversation, because, again, everybody has to know themselves. Yeah, I'm staying under. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But you got to have something to do under that rock, Nita. Can't just be under the rock hiding. So I'm going to give you things that you can do that's going to help you while you're staying away from anything that's going to pull you back into something that could hurt you. Okay? Keep that heartbeat going, guys. Let me see that heartbeat over there. Heartbeat is, oh my God, we flatlining. True, just cut somebody off. It hurt, but oh well. Yes, and never be upset long term about letting somebody go. Initially, it may feel uncomfortable, but never get upset about letting somebody go, because if they're not good for you, they got to go. Yes, a man's got to know himself. Clint Eastwood. Everybody, not just a man, everybody must know themselves. It's not gender specific. Every person must know themselves, simply because the more you know yourself, the more you can do for yourself, and the better you can make your changes, and it allows you to heal the more that you understand yourself. That's not gender specific. That's every one of us with a heartbeat, which I have none right here. There's no heartbeat here. Why y'all doing this to me? Really? We must have a lot of new people today. There's no heartbeat right here. Ellie, what's going on today, Ellie? There's no heartbeat here, Ellie. Look. I guess my information is not quality today. Nobody's tapping the screen. They're all writing, huh? Everybody's taking notes. When you've done it before, it got easy for me. Yes, but we have to make sure that we help everybody who may not be where you are, Rocksteady. But you're right. The practice that we have, the stronger we get at defending ourselves against the negativity that could come from the things that cause us to hurt. Remember, I'm talking about when you're healing. And when you're healing, you want to close the door to things that's going to rip the Band-Aid off. I'm doing the dishes. Okay. Well, you owe us some hearts when you finish drying those dishes or putting them in the dishwasher. So number 2 on the 10 strategies for dealing with sexual energies when working on physical, mental, and emotional healing is exercise. Yes, exercise. Exercise, quality exercise, gives off endorphins. And endorphins actually cause the body to relax. So, believe it or not, when you choose to put that sexual energy into exercise, not only will you get a good workout, some people have learned how to manipulate exercise to be able to be pleasurable. Do you? I'm not mad at that. It seems like I always got here stupid mess. Well, if we're making the same messes, we have to actually take a step back and ask ourselves, why are we making the same decisions? But exercise, and all type of exercise, walking, lifting weights, taking different classes, anytime you can exert the body to release endorphins, those endorphins that are given off during exercise actually can slow the feeling, the sexual energies down to make you be able to deal, to help you to deal with what you're dealing with. And when y'all see me point over here like this, right, I'm pointing to the heartbeat because we fading right now. Y'all killing me right now. Good to abate Alzheimer's. Yes, that's true. That's true. That is true. Really? Y'all killing me right now. I appreciate you. All right, so we got it. Exercise. Now, regular exercise can be a healthy way to channel and release sexual energy. It helps reduce stress and anxiety and can boost your mood and energy levels. And it can even bring on tears. Don't get bent out of shape if you find yourself crying after a good exercise session. That is pent up emotion that is releasing itself. That is what the endorphins that are given off during exercise does. So when you see somebody at the gym crying, leave them alone. They may be into a great workout and in a great place mentally. Leave them alone. Don't go over there. Is everything okay? Leave them alone. Leave them alone. But exercise is a great way to deal with the energy that comes, the frustrating energy that comes from feeling in a sexual way, but it gives you an option. Yes, leave me alone. Talk to him, Ellie. Talk to him. And yes, it's great for the mind, Lord, because, and that's what I meant about the way that we think and the way that we feel. Mental is the way that we think. Emotion is the way that we feel. And exercise touches on all three. It touches on the physical, the mental, and the emotion. And how grateful they are to the... we got that. Yes, let's go. Y'all better keep... Hey, thank you so much for the... Hey, there we go. Look at that. Thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. So, and again, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate them. I don't know which gift. That's the J? Okay. I am unbalanced. But we all are off balance at times, Lloyd. That is the reason why we all have to know ourselves. And we have to spend time getting to know ourselves, our highs, our lows, our strengths, our weaknesses. I do personality assessments with all of my clients because I want you to know what your personality strengths are. Thank you so much. Blessings to you as well, Jeremiah. is that once people understand what their strengths are, then it allows them to be able to have an anchor when they're dealing with different situations. All right? Y'all ready for number 3? Y'all still with me today? If y'all still with me, put "I'm here" in the chat. If y'all with me, let's go. Put "I'm here." Let me know. Come on. Y'all a little too quiet in the chat. We're going to get to the thank you. 3s too. You can put the 3s up. Let me go. Let's go. 3. Here we go. Here you go. Put a 3 up and I'm here. Let's go. And again, shout out to Perfectly Imperfect because she's the one that gave me this idea today because I was up in the air about what I was going to talk about. So I said, let me go to the people and see what the people want to talk about. Actually, I got some great ideas that I'm going to go back. I think Donna gave me one as well. I'm going to go back and write those down so for future shows. So I appreciate you. I listen. If y'all want to talk about it, I'm going to put some stuff together for you. This one I had to do this one quick. So I was like, I'm hoping I hit on everything. I think there's 1 or 2 things I might have missed, but y'all can tell me later. So the number 3, journaling. Journaling helps too. Is that on my list? Yeah, I'm getting to that. That's on my list too. Gotcha. Yeah, that's on there. All right, so here we go. We got the 10 threes. I saw a bunch of 3s go up there. Did I miss y'all? I saw a couple. Yeah, we still missing a couple of 3s. We missing a couple of 3s. Let me get a couple more 3s. There we go. Okay, so number 3, creative outlets. And this is where journaling actually falls in. So Lori is reading my mind. One of the ways to deal with sexual energies when you're trying to heal physically, mentally, and emotionally is to find new creative outlets. Engaging in creative activities such as writing, painting, or playing music can help you express your emotions and channel your sexual energy into more productive and constructive outlets. As you guys have noticed, when I am on, I play music. Let me tell you why. 2 things. 1, it helps control my ADD because I'm actually listening to the music as I talk to you. But also, it sets my mind into reminding me what I'm doing because I know I connect the music to what I'm doing right here. I used to use music in the classroom too. Painting is fantastic. Journaling is fantastic. Now, you guys know I'm working on a book that is going to be out at the end of the month. I'm probably going to be ready to offer it to everybody right after July 4th, but it is 12 steps to recovering from toxic relationships. The idea came from somebody here on TikTok. Shout out to Jennifer J. She gave me the idea and said it would be great to have a book to help people who have gotten out of negative relationships. So 5 months ago, I took on that idea and the book is pretty much done. I'm just working on the interior and it is 12 steps. We talked about the 12 steps here on different shows. So we covered almost 5 months ago. And each of the 12 steps, I gave you 10 sub-steps. So you're looking at almost 120 things to help you figure out what to do once you've gotten out of a toxic relationship. I've also included an assessment as well as other resources in the book as well. I want to do a mural, but buyer wouldn't appreciate it. I understand. Listen. And again, we can't make moves that is going to create a problem because we don't want to create problems for ourselves. So yes, creative outlets, guys. And the creative outlet is whatever works for you. If it's drawing, cool. If it's writing, cool. If it's journaling, if it's blogging, if it's social media, if surfing is your thing, if you just want to sit on the social media apps and just surface, you can do that too. But you got to find something that's creative that's going to help take the place of what you're dealing with. Because remember, the idle that you stay, the more idle that you stay, the more the energy, the sexual energy will build up. And all of a sudden you find yourself making phone calls you ain't supposed to make. Let me ask this question to you guys in the chat. Now, I want you to be honest with me. Not that I think that you would lie to me. How many of you have gotten your phone out when you've been idle and started to call some people that you wasn't supposed to call because the energy from the lower part of your body was starting to win out? Let me say that again. How many of you have picked up your phone and started to call somebody who you wasn't supposed to call because the lower part of your body was like, yo, get him a call. We could use her right now. We could use him right now. Think about that. Not in many years. I got you, Lord. And the reason why I ask that question is when we are idle, when we allow ourselves just to sit and be doing nothing, that frustration can start to echo like a booming sound inside our head. You want to be careful when you are dealing with something. And discernment is a big thing. But not everybody has discernment, Lori. And that's one of the reasons why we have to have these conversations, because What does discernment look like in each individual? So we can say discernment, but how does a person make that judgment if they're struggling with the flesh? And that is something that time and experience, and this is what I'm offering. This is what I do. My idle mind is my yes. And it is for a lot of people. When we're idle, if we don't have an actual healing practice in place, we could find ourselves having conversations with ourselves that we don't need to go down. Remember, most of the bad move, all of our bad moves start here. It starts inside our head. All of our bad moves start with a suggestion inside our head. We actually start to make the negative seem pleasurable. And the more pleasurable that we believe the situation is, the more our thoughts will start to create a whole environment to make the negative seem fantastic until it's over. And then after it's over, we're sitting there with that stupid look on our face like, how did I end up here? Why am I back with her? Why did I let him do that to me? And a lot of times when we're not thinking, we do some real stupid things on the next time. See, when we make that call, we already kind of know we shouldn't be there, so we do some real stupid things. And then that drive home is real difficult. That's a hard drive home. Too busy with entrepreneurships Too busy with entrepreneurish moves, not mob. You lost me with the end part there, why? Walk of shame. Yes, I agree. When I was 30, there was men approaching me in front of my daughter. Listen, when somebody's trying to get at it, they don't care that you with family. And there's some nasty folks out here, they try to include family members. So always remember, if we open up the door to certain things, Lord knows what may run through. Please keep that in mind. When you give into some of those energies and you make some of those phone calls and you make some of those reconnections, Lord knows what may show up. Think first, always. Always think first. That's what I'm giving you now. You guys ready for number 4? Put a 4 in the chat. Let's get 10 4s in the chat. And again, I want to thank you guys for being here. Let me reset real quick. I am Keith K.L. Belvin, crisis specialist, human service counselor. And every Friday from 11:30 to 1 o'clock, I am on trying to offer information that's going to help you as a person or in a relationship. Today, we happen to be on at 1 o'clock because today was the last day of school and I had to go pick up my princess. But this is what I do. I'm also an educational consultant. I'm also a Christian counselor as well. I'm also an author, a speaker, and I do a lot of things simply because this is how I help. I used to be the shepherd, but now I used to be the wolf, and now I'm the shepherd. So when you lived your life like I did for 37 years out here whoring, the last 18 has been about trying to help and heal the very people that I used to try to victimize. That's what real help looks like for me. That's what my salvation looks like is, okay, I got myself together. How do I then turn around and help other people get to that situation? Thank you, Vanessa. I'm not the GOAT. I'm just a dude trying to make up for some real bad behavior, but I appreciate your compliment. All right, so you guys gave me the number 4. Here we go. The number 4 on the list of 10 strategies for dealing with sexual energies when working on physical, mental, and emotional healing is talking to a therapist or counselor, talking to someone like me, talking to a therapist or a counselor. Third-party help allows you to deal with somebody who's not emotionally connected to your situation, but comes to the table with advice on how to help fix you. What I do when you connect with me is I don't get caught up in whatever's troubling you. And I don't feed into whatever you deal with. No, what I do is show you ways to help you help yourself. And I don't take advantage of you by trying to teach you how to be me. I teach you how to be a better you by looking at the things that you have done. So we go back into your past to get information, not emotion. We bring that forward so we can create a plan of action. And then from the plan of action, you're going to figure out how you're going to be able to sustain yourself going forward. And I'll be here to help you with that. I help be your guide. I don't do the work for you. I help you understand why the work is necessary. Let me see what we got going on here. What did I miss? My life was my life. Cheating was never my thing, so I kept doing it. My life was my life. Cheating was never my thing, so I kept doing it. Kept doing what? Cheating wasn't your life, but what was, you said, so I'll keep doing, you'll keep doing what? I missed something there. I always like to have all the information before I speak, so that's why I'm asking. So I for the woman who took care of these cheating men. So I feel Okay, so you got to help me, Rocksteady. You do what for the women who take care of these cheating men? I was with counseling for 3 years, one of the best decisions ever made. What was the typo? Did you say I feel for the women who took care of these cheating men? Well, my wife would tell you it wasn't easy, but we was able to get past all the cheating before we got married because people change. But you have to put the work in, and you also have to ground yourself into something bigger than you. A cheater can change the minute they acknowledge the cheating, but also they have to do the work to get fixed. I thank God you sit there for my family at work. Yes, listen, I am big on therapy because if it wasn't for having counseling, let me tell you right now, counseling God and my wife is what changed my life. I had to learn that a lot of the behaviors that I was exhibiting was because of things that happened when I was younger, but I still was responsible for it. My wife never actually gave in to my foolishness. She kept the bar high and made me have to climb up to that bar to get myself together. But it also came with the covering from faith. So my faith actually became the anchor for me. And then my wife became the wind behind my sails. But I still had to get into the captain's chair and figure out what I was going to do for my life. So when I hear people say once a cheater, always a cheater, not true. Anything can change, but the work is what you really got to ask yourself. A lot of people don't want to do the work necessary to make the changes. And that's where I come in terms of being able to help people understand the work that's necessary or to be able to show them the work as it is. I was saying people put me down for not helping these men, but the cheater kept me from doing that. But the cheating, okay, I got you. And my life, okay, I got you, I understand. And that's super important, guys, because the lack of judgment is what we need. And I don't judge anybody. When you come to me, you come to me. My goal is, one, for us to together get an understanding of what you say you is that you want. What is it that you want? That's the reason why I wrote the book, 12 Steps to Recovering from a Toxic Relationship, is I wanted to create a guide for people to know what to do. Also, another thing is, I put it in a book. This is my book, From Gigolo to Jesus. There's my lovely wife, and that is me. And the reason why I put it in a book is that I wanted folks to understand what that looks like. So I put my testimony on paper. I put all my dirt out there, from the number of miscarriages and other things that I was a part of, all the nastiness that comes when sex is your God. Here's another thing too. Who's that guy right there? You see, once you change your life and you decide that you want to show people how they can fix it, well, Ebony Magazine, y'all know this magazine, right? Okay, and I've showed this to you before, but if you're new, and one of the things that I was invited to do was explain how was we able to put that baby mama drama and all that other stuff in check because of that lovely woman and my faith. So people change, and you can become something different, but you got to put in a lot of work. You got to put the work in. And a lot of people who will tell me, I want to change. Do you really? Are you ready? Because the work that you're going to have to do, and let me tell you something, the work is not just getting out of the bad relationship. The work is changing who you are and seeing the world differently, seeing people differently, and being okay with yourself when you're alone. A lot of people are not okay with themselves when they're alone. They fake it great when they're in groups of people. Hey, what's going on with the heartbeats over there? Y'all playing. Really? A heartbeat fading on that? Y'all supposed to be hitting the heart. Like, come on, we talking about cheating and the heart is not going up. What's going on? Really? No heartbeat on? Whoo, Lord. I got to work harder. All right, let me work harder to get that heartbeat up. But the key is, what I help people understand, and it's not a gender thing. Don't get me wrong. Also, you got to understand is that cheating may be the result of something. Yes, it is a negative action. Do not get me wrong. But SA creates a certain mindset. Do you know that hypersexuality is an offshoot of being SA'd? So when somebody treats you in a bad way when you were younger can affect what you were doing as a teen. And we need to understand that. That's why I need to go into your past to get the information, not the emotion. Because if I bring the emotion forward, it's like bringing another mountain to the mountain we got to climb. So when we go back into your past and look that you were abused, that somebody touched you, that somebody treated you badly, that you didn't get the love that you needed, you might have created a situation sexually that you felt that's the only way that you could get love. Now I want you to put it in the chat. Put, I know somebody, or just put, I know. If you know somebody who believes that they can find love through sex. And if it was you, you can say you if you want. I'm not putting anybody out there. Just put, I know. If you know somebody, or yourself included, know somebody who thinks that they can get somebody to love them through sex? Put it in the chat. Put I know. You don't have to out yourself. That's not what we do. I know. I know somebody that, okay, thank you for being honest. Thank you perfectly. Because the thing is, we do not, thank you for sharing your truth. Because that's one thing. I know. Now, you see how all these people say I know? And it may be some of the same people who's saying it. And that's important because many of us, and we had this conversation before about love and like, and that we've reduced love to some very low standards. But there are a lot of people who believe the only way that they can feel love is through sexual energy. And when you peel back the layers, a lot of times there's a lot of negativity in that because the self-value, the self-worth, the self-esteem, and they never granted themselves grace. They never actually healed. My job is to be able to climb in there, help you heal without you becoming a victim to me. I am not the wolf anymore. I am the shepherd. But as the shepherd, I have to be able to guide you, which means we got to have some conversations. And I know when we have those conversations, we're going to open up some doors that you might not have wanted to open up. That's what I try to do. All right? So again, I don't care about them. It is what it is. Okay, well, I'm glad you got to that point. It's their covert. It's their covert abandoned. What is covert abandoned? You have to help me with how you put that. Not me, but I was thrown in the pit of hell. They did everything to put me in there. Okay, I got you. How can you tell if you're the wolf or the sheep? Are you victimizing or being victimized? Sheep don't victimize. They can't. It's not in their DNA. Wolf victimize. If you are victimizing people, you're the wolf. If you're being victimized, you're the sheep. Remember, sheep are not built to victimize. Wolf are. Abandonment and covert. Okay, I got you. That's what you have to look at. And if you victimize, you have to actually catch yourself and say, why did I do it? Everything has a genesis. Everything has a place that it came from. And sometimes it is the reaction to something that was done to us. Remember, hurt people hurt people. Abused people abuse people. So we have to understand that a lot of our behaviors all started here because of something that was imparted to us or something that we connected to. They need to abandon you. Who needs to abandon you? Sheep here for sure. Why not knowing any better? Sheep here for sure. Why not knowing? You have to help me clear it up. I'm not sure how to respond to how that's written. Oh yeah, well, cheating is the most selfish thing that you can do. And you got to understand that cheating is never about the person that the other person is with. Cheating is a pure selfish thing. When somebody knowingly goes out and cheats on somebody that they're with, they're knowingly saying that person doesn't care to me. It's all about them. Cheating is one of the most selfish things on the planet because it's only about the person who's cheating. And then sadly, they want the person who is hurt to make the most decisions. Nah, they disown themselves. There you go. All right, so you guys ready for number 5? And number 5, I put on the list. I wasn't sure if I was going to add it to the list, but it works for some people. So this is one of those that you can take or throw away. It's on you. But I added it because it came up a couple of times in my different research from different platforms. So if you're ready for number 5, and at the number 5 mark, we take a little break for some music and just have a quick little conversation. So again, put a 5. I told him that it was about him. Put 5s in the chat. I got you, Lord. Put 5s in the chat, and I'm going to give you number 5, and I'm going to go back over the first 4 as well while we're looking at the number 5s. Number 1 was meditation, prayer, and mindfulness practice. Number 2 was exercise. Number 3 was creative outlets. Number 4 was talking to a therapist or a counselor. And number 5, why did I make mistakes not knowing, but when I woke, I was pissed. My life was totally different. Listen, anytime we wake up to the mistakes that we made, we have 2 choices. Ignore what we just figured out or act on what we just figured out. Either way, your life has changed. The minute you become knowledgeable of the mistakes or the pain caused to you by whoever caused it, once that happens, you got 2 choices. You can ignore it or you can act on it. Some people don't want to act on it because the pain of trying to act on the change is too great. So they go back to what they're comfortable to. And some of you might have heard of this. Some people will stay with the devil they know instead of fighting the devils that they don't. Part of the reason why I wrote the book and I'm creating the book of 12 steps to recovering from a toxic relationship was, what do you do once you've gotten out of a bad relationship? What do you do? Well, that's what I wanted to create the steps to do. Mistakes, but they treat you like you just messed up. People are going to treat you the way they treat you. What it comes down to is how you treat you. And what you allow to happen to you has nothing to do with anybody else. People are going to be who they are. People are going to be nasty, negative. People are going to be positive and great. At the end of the day, it is what you allow. Once you come to an awakening point that understand that you want better in your life, it is on you. Well, that's why you have to heal you, or you're going to get with another abuser. See, we don't know. If we don't learn from the moves that we make, we choose what's comfortable over what's knowledgeable. And some people will choose certain things because they haven't actually healed, or they actually haven't addressed why they were with the original abuser to begin with. That is where therapy comes in. That is what I do as a counselor. When I sit with you, I help you to understand how you got here. That is what I mean about going into your past to get information, not emotion. We have to get to the genesis of why certain things happen and then create a new plan of action for you to go forward. Then we have to make sure that the plan is being maintained so you can actually stay on track to where you have to be. Could be mom, could be dad, could be cousins, could be ex-husbands, ex-wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, sisters, brothers. Abusers come in all forms, shapes, sizes, colors. It's not any one particular person. Your past is your past. And the people of your past could be the people who abuse you. The goal for me is to clear that so we can actually clear the pathway so you can start to heal. Healing starts with acknowledgement first. True, and I found out, yes, better it is where I'm at, and those wolves keep coming. They're going to keep coming. Let me just explain this to you guys. Just because you heal doesn't mean that the evil in the world doesn't start searching for you. Actually, it searches for you greatly, because now you're a shiny new penny. Now you're cleaned up, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Oh, I got to get that. I got to get her. I got to get him. And what you have to be is fortified. See, once you're fortified, you're good. Once you're like, oh, no. I know what I know. I know what I like. I know what I want. Well, then it don't make a difference what comes to you. It's what you will allow to get close to you. When you control you, can't nobody get close to you. When you can control you, can't nobody sway you into something. When you're in control of you, can't nobody get you into bed. See, sex is, you do not need sex. Fornication looks like anything that causes you to react in a sexual way with someone who's not the person that you're married to, if you were looking at it from a Christian perspective. Fornication means nothing to somebody who's not a Christian, and we have to make sure that we cover both. Fornication is a whole different look to a person of faith, but it's not something to a non-believer, and we have to make sure that we cover all the avenues to give folks who are non-believers the same understanding and the same grace. So fornication for Christians is anybody that's engaged in some type of sexual act that's outside of their marriage. Fornication for non-believers is non-existent. They're going to make choices that they want to make, and we have to understand why those choices are made and be able to help them through those choices, and then they can make whatever decisions they want to make. So that's why when dealing with sexual energies, guys, understand it is the body giving into what it wants. The body wanting what it wants. You just have to make sure you don't give in. You are in control, not the lower half. It is not your genitalia in control of you. Is it cheating if you're not married? It's cheating if you told somebody that they're exclusively yours and you're exclusively theirs. It is cheating if you have to hide it. It is cheating if you have to lie about it. It is cheating if the only person who know about it is you and the person that you're getting it in with. If it can't be exposed to the world, you are cheating somebody, something, and you are cheating yourself. The body is weak, but the mind can be strong. Both can be strong with the right work. The mind is weak too for a lot of people. They're not separate. Some people are strong of body, but have less willpower. Is it cheating if you think about it? Depends on what your faith base is. If you are a person of faith, yes. If you're not, no. So again, that comes down to your moral code. What does being fortified look like? Well, again, depends on where you are in your moral code or your faith code. Being fortified for me is grounding myself in my faith. For somebody else, it may be them being in control of themselves. The mind controls the body, but the body stimulates the mind, which can create the mind to make poor decisions. They're connected. They're not separate. They're all in connection to each other. The body and the mind are connected. One cannot exist without the other. The body can stimulate the mind to make poor decisions, and the mind can make poor decisions based on what the body, and it goes back and forth. So for each person is different, and that's the one thing that we have to look at, especially when we're talking about when we're trying to help other people. Remember, you cannot project what works for you to somebody who is not from the same position that you are. The same thing with faith. When it comes to sex, sex is a conversation that should be had based on an individual basis, not a position of morality until you found out what the morality is of the person you are talking to. My morality is going to be different from somebody else. So if somebody asks me how I would do certain things, I'll tell them based on my faith this. But when I'm dealing with them, I have to look at what their moral compass is and have that conversation based on where they are morally. So when it comes to sex and dealing with sex, until you understand a person's history, it's very difficult to offer them advice on how exactly they should do it. So you should keep it very general and then set up the opportunity for them to come and share with you in a more discreet and more intimate setting where you can now converse, which is what I do as a counselor. So now number 5, right, was yoga. Now I understand that yoga is a thing. So I don't speak negative of yoga. Not that I do it. I don't. Oh, I'm messing up my little chair here. Yoga is the 5th. And this came up a couple of times in my research, that yoga came up a couple of times as a way to be able to deal with sexual energy when you're trying to heal, right? And this is what it said. Yoga combines physical movement with mindfulness and can help you balance your energy and reduce stress. Certain poses, such as the child's pose or the downward dog, can help you release tension in your pelvic area. That's the reason why I included it. But the same thing can be said about Tai Chi. The same thing can be said about a lot of different things. Same thing for dancing. So I was like, I'm going to add yoga to the list, but there's a lot of things that I could have added there. But I said I'm going to add that. Fortified posts, munitions, troops for disposal. Okay, I don't know what that's connected to, so I must have missed something there with that. The mind, okay, I missed that. Lord. So I'm not sure. And like I said, I don't comment on things that I don't know completely that's being discussed. It's how you stay out of trouble. I don't speak on things until I have the information. So we're at the halfway point, guys, right? And at the halfway point, I normally rock out with some music. Let me see what I want to rock out. Now, here's what we do at the halfway point, right? Okay. I'm going to play some music. If you have some questions, you can answer the questions. I will gladly answer your questions. But you guys do not have anything to write right now. You can put your pens down. What you're going to do is tap the screen, because right now there's no heartbeat there, and y'all are killing me right now. So we're going to take a couple of seconds. I'm going to figure what song I'm going to listen to, and y'all are going to tap the screen, and then we're going to come back and knock down 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's see what I got here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go with some Jaheim and Jadakiss. There we go. Come on. There we go. I have 4 degrees. I have an associate's degree in business. I have a bachelor's degree in physical education and health education. I have a master's degree in education, and I have a master's degree in human service counseling. Back there on the wall back there. So I have 4 degrees. I taught for 23 years in the New York City school system as a teacher and a dean of students. I've been in Delaware now 7 years, going on 7 years. And I am a private personal counselor, as well as I own and run an after-school program. I also write books. I've written 6 books. I'm working on number 7. And I also have contributed to other anthologies and things of that nature. Yes, professional educator. Yes, I am. I'm also a Christian counselor who helps churches build mental health ministries. I just spoke at a church last Saturday talking about the myths of mental health in the church. That is on my YouTube page. You can go and look at it. Just look for the handsome big brother in a pink shirt. And we were talking about 5 of the myths that come up in the church about mental health. But listen, y'all should be tapping the screen right now. I'm not giving no numbers right now. Come on, let's go. Why the heartbeat so weak right now? Why y'all doing me like this? Really? This what we doing? I don't know about my afternoon crew right here. You don't have to go back to church. Church is where you are. I help churches build mental health ministries. I also get churches to pay part of the service fees for me to be able to help their parishioners. Really? Why the heartbeat fading like this? I don't know, Ellie. This afternoon crew. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get back to the morning. Pope in me own church. I'm not sure what that means. Pope in me own church. I don't know what that means. There we go. I see the heartbeat picking up right there. It's after lunch. That's what it is. We suffering from the itis. That's what we suffering from. That's why we not tapping the screen. Hey, shout out to Renata from VA. It's an expression. Okay, I'm not familiar with that expression. Sorry. What does that mean? Up in the AM. Yeah, I'm saying. I don't know. My morning crew, they get it. I don't know. I'm going to have to see what happens, St. Patrick. Okay. Come on. $2 bill. Yo, y'all killing me right now. What's going on here? Recap. Got you. So, again, I am talking about the 10 strategies of dealing with sexual energies when working on your physical, mental, and emotional healing. And we have covered so far 5 of those 10 areas. 1 is meditation, prayer, and mindfulness practice. 2 is exercise. 3, creative outlets, creating different creative activities to help you deal. 4, talking to a therapist or counselor like myself. And number 5 was yoga. St. Patrick Tales grew bigger and bigger. Okay. Got you. So again, while we're taking a little music break, which I normally do at the halfway point, we got about 30 more seconds. I'm going to get back to the list. And so again, you guys keep tapping that screen. We're going to try to get to 20,000. I'm here $1 and $2. I hear $1 and $2. I don't know. Rocksteady, it was that I hear $1 and $20 a lot. Based on what? All right, I got to keep my eye on the chat here. I'm a little lost here. He could set a fire with his mind. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so the music is over. We're going to get right back to the list. So, again, I thank you for all you guys that was tapping the hearts, tapping the screen. I don't even have to be talking or flirting to get the urge. I understand that, and perfectly imperfect. Your body is going to try to trigger what it wants, and that's okay. What you might want to do is in your alone time, in your writing time, I want you to really sit down and ask yourself, why do you believe you have the type of connection to the physical as you do? And start to really go through some things and try to pinpoint where that started. If it goes all the way back to your first experience, fine. If there was some type of abuse, try to document that, because everything has a genesis. Everything gets to a point. We don't come out the womb and just really get crazy sexually. We're checking our stuff out when we're younger, but things have to happen that trigger sexual stimulation that cause us to want. You might have an addiction, but that's the reason why you actually have to sit down and really pay attention to it, because when you talk to a counselor like myself or any counselor, one of the things that we're going to be able to do is in the conversations with you is to be able to see if it has reached addiction level. And if it has reached addiction level, then there's other things that you might do, because now you might need a higher level of care, because you might need a psychologist, which is the next step up, to sit down and say, okay, you know what, I might need some other assistance. And listen, and medication is a part of it too. Everybody is different, but until you sit down and really go through the muck and really understand what it is, it's going to be hard for me to tell you what you need. But I can tell you what you can do to start trying to find what it is that you need to be able to help yourself. And the addiction is real. Sexual addiction is real. It never did for me. I was under the Motown family, and they were pimps and hoes. I get you. I've heard that a lot that went on during that time. Not sure if I'm ready to unpack. Well, that's the thing too, is that the longer you hold on to the trauma, the more your body and your mind will react to what is actually wrong on the inside. We cannot hold negativity on in the inside and it not show itself on the outside in some type of positive way. It doesn't work that way. We have to address the negatives if we are to cure ourselves or be able to deal with it. And if you know it's something there, then, now I got you, it doesn't go away. So if you did no work on it, it won't go anywhere. The key is doing the work, because then you can refer back to the work. It's like exercise, right? If a person loses 150 pounds who used to be 400, they now have the memory of what it took to get from 400 to 150. They lost 250 pounds. But if they stop doing the work, what happens? They go back to what they were. And a lot of times the body will punish you and say, oh, no, we're going to go to 520 because you took us to 150 and we didn't like that. Your physical is always going to fight back. The flesh wants to be pleased right here, right now. This is the ticket. This is what can keep the flesh at bay. And when you balance those out, you'll be okay. They keep stalking and harassing me. That's why it looks like I'm holding on. I'm sorry, who's stalking you and harassing you? I'm sorry, I missed that. Because again, we can control how much attention we spend to others. And sometimes silence is one of the best things. We don't have to engage everybody who wants to engage us. And if we know that somebody wants to engage us that doesn't have our best interest in mind, shut them down. Don't engage with people that you already know from the door don't have your best interest in mind. Okay, so let's get to number 6. Y'all are going to put number 6 in the chat, and y'all are going to tap the screen because the heartbeat is dying right here. We done went flatline. Y'all are killing me this afternoon. What is going on here? And I do have a counseling session later on this afternoon. The Motown fan, Martha, said true story. Yeah, I've read a lot that went on, but I see all over. Motown, the Philly sound, what was going on in New York. A lot of times you had a lot of people who had talent, but they didn't have the knowledge of the business part. And in the end, it opened up the door to a lot of addictive behaviors, a lot of problems. And there was a lot of issues faced by not just folks in Motown, but a lot of folks who were in music who didn't have the knowledge and experience. I was around a lot of hip hop artists in the 80s, and I seen the same thing. And sadly, when we don't have knowledge about certain things, especially when it comes to business, there's a lot of negative emotions that come and that's connected to it, which then we have to figure out how we're going to deal with that. Okay, you guys ready for number 6? Put 6 in the chat. I saw 1 6. I saw a bunch of other 6. Give me 5 more 6s, guys. And let's get to number 6. And we're going to finish up this list here. Thank you so much for reminding in the tap there, Ellie. I see you working hard in that chat, Ellie. Okay. This one here is overlooked. So before I give you number 6, I want you to put this in the chat. How many of you know what Lamaze is? Put it in the chat if it's like I do. You don't have to tell me what it is, but if you know what Lamaze is, put I do. If you know what Lamaze is, put I do in the chat. There you go. If you know what Lamaze is, put I do in the chat. I see 2 people know what Lamaze is. There's a 3rd one. Come on, keep it going. There's a 4th one. Come on. And Lamaze is the breathing exercise that they teach you when you're with child or going to have a child. So number 6 on the list of 10 strategies on dealing with sexual energies when working on physical, mental, and emotional healing is breath work. Yes, it's breathing. Breath work is actually what it's called, but it is breathing. Number 6 is breathing. Breathing exercises can help you channel and release sexual energy, reduce stress and anxiety, and promote relaxation. So if you sit still and you breathe in deep and count for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, wait for 4 seconds, and then keep repeating it. Box breathing. You slow your heart down, you slow your thinking down, you slow your lower half of your body down, because you are slowing things down and taking control here. And what you want to do is you want to think of self-control. You want to think of things that's going to keep you in control of you, not your body. All right? So number 6 is breathing. Number 6 is breathing. And the reason why I brought up Lamaze is that we know that it works. When I was in Lamaze class, I was like, can't we just give him drugs? And it's like, shut up. What you here for? I was like, okay. I didn't know any better. I was young and stupid. I was like, why are we doing all this? I said, ain't they gonna give him drugs anyway? They was like, shut up. I was like, okay. My ex-wife was like, shut up. I was like, okay. I was looking at the other men in the room. We were kind of like, we're here. I didn't know the power of Lamaze. And yes, it does work. Okay, here we go. We're going to keep going, guys. So breathing. It helped me when I experienced, yes. And believe it or not, that's how I used to help students calm down when they were very emotional and very angry. And I worked in urban environments in New York. I used to put my hand on the child's chest and say, breathe with me. Look at me. Now breathe with me. In through your nose, out through your mouth, to get kids to slow down, because I've seen kids work themselves up to the point that they were literally going to pass out. So the reason why I gave them physical touch to the chest, not the young ladies, with the young ladies it was the shoulder, and I would physically touch the child just to let them know I'm here. Now I would say, look at me, bring it down, breathe with me, because I needed to get the kid to slow things down, because I knew they weren't going to be able to hear me amped up. I have 2 kids I love to death. There you go. So yes, breathing, number 6. All right, y'all ready for number 7 on the list of 10 strategies to deal with sexual energy when working on physical, mental, emotional healing. Y'all ready for number? People lie so much when you tell the truth. Bodies listen. Yeah, listen, people are going to lie. This is what we deal with in the world. People are going to lie. This is why we have to be in control of self. We cannot, hey, we hit 20,000. Thank you, Ellie, for letting me know that. But number 7, I see one number 7. Y'all going to add with perfectly put number 7. Where's the rest of the number 7s in the chat? Let's go. Come on. Let's get some 7s in the chat. Come on, we got 4 more to do. There we go. Here we go. Come on. Thank you, Benny. Now, I hope I said that right. Thank you, Rocksteady. There we go. Thank you, Misty. I want to make sure I say that right. Perfect. Thank you. It's respect to try to get a person's name right. I hate when I see people get somebody's name wrong, and then when they're corrected, they go, yeah, whatever. No, get that right. There we go, Princess. Appreciate you. Okay, so number 7 is going to sound simple, but it's very important, right? Avoid triggers. Now, let's be real. If you are trying to keep, hey, great to see you here, Missy. Where you from? If you're trying to keep the lower half of your body from activating, or you're struggling with it talking to you, and you're like, yeah, maybe we should go do something, male or female, you have to avoid the things that trigger that. Thank you, Ellie. You have to avoid triggers. All right? Get off the phone late at night talking to somebody. So no, not block everyone. You're not trying to give it to everyone perfectly. And if that's what you need to do, now let's be real. If right now you're in a state where it's like, yo, if I rub up against the mailman the wrong way, he could get it. Okay, Trina, got you. If you are in a state where if you could rub up against the mailman and they could get it, then yeah, you might need to block everybody or remove yourself from as many situations as you can to reduce the triggers. This is why it's so important that you understand yourself. If you are in a bad place, then we have to create a boundary that allows you not to act on things while you're healing. So no, you might not need to go out and have that drink. Tarina. I'm sorry, Tarina. Did I get that right? And again, I always and I see the exclamation point, so I want to make sure I get it right. Was it Tarina? Okay, got you. And so what's important is that this is where we got to know ourselves. Certain movies, don't watch certain movies, or don't turn on porn if that's your thing, if it's going to trigger you to do something that takes you out of your control. Because you got to know the things that trigger you. Who's calling? Okay, I'll call him back. You got to know the things that are triggering you that's going to put you in a more difficult situation. Don't pile more onto your brain than you can handle, because then you'll just give in and say, let's just do it. You know you want it. No, and be careful of negative self-talk. Do not talk yourself into a bad move. Where the heartbeat at? Y'all killing me here. Why are we on life support over here? What's going on over here? Really? Really? This what y'all doing? All right. Somehow we got the 20K. I appreciate you. Don't talk yourself into a negative situation. Don't start to try to rationalize about why you want to do this inside your head. Fight it. So create the triggers. Move the triggers away. People tease me about my phone ringing. Don't miss it. Listen, I turn my phone off at different times. I just don't want to be bothered. I read comics. I got a whole comic collection simply because I just don't want to be bothered. On my calendar, I actually have my own personal free time with my family and everything else. During that time, my phone is off. And I have no problem calling somebody back. And if you're mad that I didn't pick up your call, and if it's not an emergency, because if it's an emergency, you'll go through the more than many different ways to try to reach me. Plus, I might check my voicemail. And somebody said, did you get my call? Yeah, I did. Why didn't you call me back? I didn't want to. Really? Hello, Donna. They go, what? Really? Yeah. I didn't want to. I can't speak for what somebody else wants to be. I'm Keith. Whatever somebody else wants to be, that's on them. It's not for me to figure out what somebody else wants to be. I'm having a hard enough time just trying to be me. So that's what it is. And I remember who you're talking about. At first, I didn't know who that was. But yeah, I can't speak for what somebody else wants to be. All I know is what I'm trying to be. And if I can be that, then I'm good. That's actually what I do. But yeah, so guys, remember that to avoid triggers. Number 7, avoid triggers. Because, again, you want to take away all the things that are going to create an issue for you. And it's important. And I talk about that because when I have counseling sessions, I'm going to hold you accountable to the moves that you make. So when I say, how was your week? And we're talking, I say, well, what did you do? And you say, I messed up, I did this. I'm going to ask you why. And if you're giving me excuses, I'm going to hold you to that and say, no. That's an excuse. Why did you do that when you knew it was wrong? Let's have that conversation. Because an accountability person is going to say some things that make you uncomfortable if they're really an accountability person. Hey, mister. And it's important, especially in a good counselor, a good therapist is going to hold you accountable to what you say, especially if you're trying to heal. All right. Y'all guys ready for number 8? We got 3 more. Let's go. Put an 8 in the chat. Let's go. It's 2:45. Okay. How about that? Welcome. If this is your first time here, please let me know where you're checking in from. I am Keith K.L. Belvin, crisis specialist, human service counselor, and I come on every Friday from 11:30 to 1 o'clock. This is a different time because it's the last day of school. But I appreciate you being here, and please let us know where you're from and tap the screen. No one ever held me accountable. I was just called a player. Okay, then we have to change your circles. Perfectly imperfect. Your circles are an extension of yourself. If we want accountability, we want to choose people that will hold us accountable. And we have to make sure that we try to choose the right social connections. That's the other piece of great health is your physical, your mental, emotional, and your social connections. Having people in your life who will hold you accountable to the things that are negative to you. The people that you choose to be around. Now, this could be family, friends. It could be a sports team. Whoever is with you that's going to hold you accountable to things that you know is detrimental to yourself, that's important. We all need to have a strong support base if we can create one. But it starts somewhere. It starts with you. It starts with you understanding that you need that, and then we work on how you can do that. I tell people my excuse is my life, whether you like it or not. Yeah, listen, our life is our life. Our life is the thing that created the situation, but we have to figure out how do we make the pivots in life because our life led us in certain directions. But we have to be able to make those changes. Family was not it for me. So it was the people that I circled myself around after family. I don't have the greatest connection with all of my family, a handful, and that's okay. Because I just didn't buy into the foolishness. And I'm not one of those people who go, well, family is everything. No, it is not. We are relatives. Just because we share the same blood means we are relatives. Family is an action word to me. Family is what we do for each other, to each other, because of love. And if you can't do that, I don't care if we're relatives. I don't ever have to speak to you again. I don't care if you cousin, auntie, uncle, sister, brother, child. If you make certain moves that are not aligned with my integrity, my moral base, God bless you. The door will be open if something happened, if you need some food, but I'm not rocking with you. That's just me. But I got to help people who don't understand how to figure themselves out. And we have to be able to do that because, again, the only person that you can protect or the first person that you got to protect is you. My family, no, but I do have friends. There you go, perfectly imperfect. And build on that. All you need is one good friend. That one friend who's just going to tell you the truth, even if it hurts. Because you know what they're going to do? They're going to be there to help you heal. But they got to tell you the truth. I'm just like that. Yes, boundaries. Typo. I don't have it. Okay. Well, we're going to start building that. And this is where social media can help you perfectly and perfect. Ask yourself, what does my social media life look like? What do I do when I'm on social media? Am I connecting with people who can build me up? Or am I doing or connecting to things that are actually tearing me down? And where is the heartbeats? Y'all are killing me today. What is with the 1 o'clock crowd? You know what? I'm not coming back on at 1 o'clock, 1:30. So true. In my community, there are many we consider family, but they aren't born. No, family is the connection that you have. I have a bowling organization. We're like family, right? I have a literary family because we write books, so we have a mutual connection. Don't get drugged out just because y'all are blood. Y'all are relatives. Y'all are not family. And for us brothers and sisters who are actually Christian faith, Jesus talked about that. Y'all not really the sons of Abraham. Y'all are just relatives. Because if y'all was the sons of Abraham, y'all would know who I am. So there's for my church folks in the group too. Don't get it twisted. But thank you so much for the hearts. Y'all ready for number 8? Let's put 8s in the chat. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's put 8s in the chat as we finish up on this Friday and get ready for the weekend. And let's think perfectly imperfect for today's subject. It was perfectly imperfect that told me we should talk about how to deal with these sexual energies. So shout out to you. And Jeffrey, who is Jeffrey? Jeffrey just put a whole bunch of 8s up. You know that only counts as 1 8, right, Jeff? I had a music family. It became a mess. I walked away. Nothing wrong with that. Remember, protect your peace first. Protect your peace first. So number 8, as corny as this sounds, I'm going to give it to you anyway. Number 8 on the list of 10 strategies of dealing with sexual energy when physically, mentally, or emotionally healing is engage in non-sexual activities. Yes, sometimes the simple is the best. Engage in non-sexual activities. Number 8, I'm going to say it again for the people in the back of the chat. Engage in non-sexual activities. You ain't got to be out here humping anybody to do, such as reading, watching movies, spending time in nature. You can help you shift your focus away from sexual thoughts and impulses. How many times we went out and just took a walk and realized that there's life around us? Everything is not between our legs. A good book, a good movie. There's tons out there. And we have to be able to connect to things that are non-sexual to be able to ground us, because everything can't be sexual. And here's the crazy part, right? I don't care if you had a great session 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. You're still only going to cover a couple of hours. What are you doing the other 20 and change? Even if I gave you the greatest partner that ever lived and y'all went 2, 3 hours, what are you doing the other 21? Non-sexual activities. Because the more that you connect to other things outside of sex, you give yourself options. And the more options you give yourself, the more control you give yourself. Your body is not controlled by what is between your legs, but what is between your ears. Control this, and you can get this to quiet up. Now, it may not get quiet completely. Now, and I didn't get them, and I'm going to tell you, well, I'll get there in a second. What do healing look like? It looks something different for a lot of different people, Donna. So for me to ask that question, I'd have to first know what's hurting you or how bad you're hurt. So there's no way I can give a general answer to what healing looks like, but I would say this to anybody listening. Healing is the absence of pain that is causing you dismay. How we get there is a totally different story. But that's what healing would look like for me, is the removal of things that are causing you pain and are not allowing you to be the best you. How we do that is why we have to sit down in a counseling session and figure out what it's going to take to get you to that point. But that's what healing looks like for me. All right, so y'all ready for, and number 9, let's see, I read that one, number 8. So y'all ready for the last 2? Let's go. Let's go. Y'all ready for, there we go. Oh, hold on a second, there we go. Let's put some 9s in the chat. Good afternoon, Cherry. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm here every Friday from 11:30 to 1 o'clock or 1:30, depending on how the conversation's going. I don't know about my 1 o'clock crowd. Y'all, my 1:30 crowd. Y'all, I don't see no hearts. The heartbeat is fading. See, my morning guys, they get it. I don't know. We got the 20. We're up to 26. I don't know. We got up there, Ellie. We got 26K likes, so we doing something. But I'm used to seeing a steady heartbeat there. It gets me excited. I don't know, Ellie. I'm gonna have to weigh if this is the right time slot for me. I might have to go back to the morning. So y'all ready for number 9? Donna done gave 5 nines. That only counts for 1 9. Let's help Donna out. Let's give about 6 more 9s. Come on. So let me get some 9s in the chat. We're getting it done. Come on. I got you, Ellie. That's why you in the chat, Ellie. I rocks with Ellie. There's another 9. Let's get a couple more 9s in the chat. Hey, Foxy. A Benny. Let's go. Jeff, I got you. Always believe that being sexual soon in a relationship. Well, it all depends. Each person is different. There are some people that can jump right into a sexual thing and everything. No, I did not listen. I got it written down for Shantae Moore. I was drugging out on all the other Shantae Moore stuff. I did not get to listen to the live that you told me to listen to. I got it written down. I will do that. And for everybody in the chat, let them know what you was talking about when you say, did I get a chance to listen to Shantae Moore? Because now you're going to have everybody running over to listen to Shantae Moore. Tell them which Shantae Moore you were talking about. Because I was just vibing on Shantae last week and I forgot to listen to the live that you told me. Let me see here. What is Trina? Please forgive me. I have to make a run. Okay, Tarina. You can go to YouTube and the rest will be over on YouTube. The shows are always repurposed on YouTube. So if you missed the rest, you can just go over YouTube. I'll probably put it up, if not tonight, sometime tomorrow. But I got a lot going on this weekend, so I'm going to try to get it in tonight. Okay, so number 9. Here we go. Thank you. Appreciate you. Hope to see you. And I'll be on next Friday at 11:30. That's my regular time, 11:30. I think test driving a car before you buy it makes more sense. Okay, listen, that is a way to think about it. But also remember, by test driving the car, you expose yourself to things that you might not be ready with a person that you may not know that well. So be careful. Be careful, for each person is different. If you want to test drive the car, be careful because you have to be very much in control of yourself. Because if you allow certain emotions to come to the table before you know somebody, you can be setting yourself up to be victimized by somebody also. Not everybody wants a relationship after. Some people may just enjoy the fact that they get to sample the goods without any responsibilities. So you got to be careful of what you give away early and what the parameters are before the giveaway. Because if y'all are both on the same page, cool. But you really want to make that clear. As adults, whatever you decide to give away, whenever you decide to give away, is okay. You just want to make sure that the boundaries are clear because no one knows what's going to happen. Hey, El, no one knows what's going to happen once the act happens. All right, so number 9 on the list of 10 things is setting healthy boundaries, guys. And it works right what Perfectly was talking about. You have to set healthy boundaries. This is another way to help yourself heal physically, mentally, and emotionally, and how to put those sexual energies at bay is that you have to set healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries with yourself and others can help you regulate your sexual energy and prevent it from becoming overwhelming or destructive. We have to set boundaries because if we let people past our boundaries, we put ourselves in a negative place, and in that negative place, now we're out of control. Do not give away control to somebody else. And I say this to young adults, and I say this to people in my counseling sessions. If you give away control, somebody will take it. If you give away control, somebody will take it. And if it's to somebody that's negative that's taking it from you, they may use it against you. Don't put yourself in that position. When you're not getting any affection on the daily from the hubby, I feel of course it's a deep problem. Affection is the way that we express intimacy without sex. So affection is supposed to be there. Affection is the foundation of a loving union. But I'm driving. Okay. Got you, Tarina. But that's the key. Because affection lets a person know, I dig you. I like you. I'm feeling you. And that's supposed to be there. So when it's not there, that's a conversation to have. Hey, babe, what's going on? We see the videos on the various apps where somebody is walking by their significant other and they stick their booty out to get a slap. And when they don't get the slap, what was that? Affection is important. Hands-on contact is a fantastic way of letting your significant other know that you care. I ain't talking about beating on nobody. We don't talk about DV here. When we talk about it, we don't promote it. But a casual touch, a casual rub, even just a touch of the face, a kiss of the forehead, a rub of the hand, or just a brush against the other person, a smile. All these things are part of the affection that creates positive intimacy. And intimacy actually feeds the love. It's like if the fire was going out, intimacy throws some more gas on it. And then when you have that fire going and you leave that to love making, not just sex, but love making, woo, now you got the completed circle. You're good. I find it's time to check out. It's a new supply. He shows off. Yeah. Okay, well, that's something. I don't ever give anybody advice on whether they should go or not unless they're in something physical where they're in danger. Speak with a professional before you make any moves like that so you can make sure you're making the right moves for the right reasons. I would say that. This what we doing? Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. It's really hard being in a relationship with someone that is, yes, without question, it's very hard to be in a relationship with somebody that's not affectionate. Y'all better start playing and tap that screen. Yeah, what? Really? And Donna, understand that you have to first think about you, and if things are not there for you, you have to speak to a professional so you can start to analyze where you are with you, and then the moves that you need to make will come from that. Like I said, I can't tell anybody to leave their relationship when I don't have any information. That would be unprofessional of me. But what I would say to you is that if you're unhappy, that's where you start. Start with why you're unhappy and then go from there. Yo, you know what's funny? I'm glad you said that, Ellie, about don't get frustrated. Believe it or not, that's the way my brain works. Like, I'm listening to the music, I'm watching the heart, and I'm reading the track. And all of that helps me to stay focused. So now I'm not getting frustrated. But that's how I used to be in school. I'd be back there. And teachers, I used to get in so much trouble. Yeah, I was that kid in the back of the room, just making all type of noise for no damn reason. I was that kid that got on everybody's nerves. But I was smart, so they would leave me alone. Y'all ready for the last one? If y'all are ready for 10, put 10 in the chat. Put a 10 in the chat if y'all are ready for number 10 of the 10 listed here. I see that. Yes, we are. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Well, let's go. If you're ready for number 10, put a 10 in the chat. And before I give you the last one, I want to say to all of you, thank you. I really do appreciate you taking this time with me at this time. I know it's a different time, but I will be back next. Actually, no. You know what? I just thought about it. I'll be in Charlotte next week, and I'll be traveling back from North Carolina. So I don't know if we're going to have a show next Friday, but I'll check and see. I don't think we will, but I'll put it up on my page. I understood my power at a young age and frequently messed up because he said I made him feel like I care, but I don't be caring. Well, here's the thing. Then what power did you have? Because if you were using your power to hurt somebody, then you were not responsible. If you didn't understand your power and you were hurting somebody, you weren't responsible. And if your power wasn't bringing you pleasure, then, hey, okay, well, I'll be in Charlotte for a wedding on Thursday. I'm coming in Wednesday. I got the wedding on Thursday, and then I think I'm leaving like Friday morning. So let me know. Get together and have a drink or lunch or something like that. It'd be great. But yeah, I'll be in Charlotte. I forget. I think it's the Hyatt. I'm not sure. I got to check. But I'll be there. I'm leaving here Wednesday morning, and I should be there Wednesday afternoon. Got you. Sounds great. I always love to meet people when I travel because I get a chance to say hi. So my biggest focus is getting to Charlotte and then getting situated. I believe I'm staying at the Hyatt, but we're great. We're good to go. So again, y'all ready for number 10? Practicing celibacy. I was not responsible. I fed off of a man's emotional reaction. And that is limiting because, as you see now, it's not sustainable. Hey, how you doing, Linus? It's not sustainable. Feeding off of anybody's energy is not sustainable because after a while, they can't keep up with what you need. And now you have to toss them to the side and you start running through people. And as you run through people, you become more and more unhappy because you're not getting satiated. And because you're not getting satiated, you got two choices. Just shut down everything and be unhappy, or run through a bunch of people and be unhappy at the same time because you weren't connecting it to something that was solid. Physical interaction with somebody, sexual interaction with somebody should be based on a connection that a little bit deeper than, well, you fix it by going to counseling. You fix it by acknowledging that you said yourself you have issues that you have not dealt with. You have to deal with those. You can't dance around when you know something is wrong. You actually have to get in, deal with the pain, no matter what the pain is, and start to fix it, because everything has a genesis. And if you're not willing to go to the genesis to be able to deal with it, then we can't fix it. We keep putting band-aids on a cut that's getting wider and wider. And you keep bleeding on the band-aids and throwing them away and putting a new band-aid on. That's not helping anybody. You got to go to the genesis, shut that down, and then start to do the healing from there. That's the best that I can tell you with that. All right, so practicing celibacy, right? Just keep that thing in your pants, keep them legs closed, because practicing celibacy or abstinence from sexual activity can be a way to channel and transform sexual energy for spiritual growth, emotional healing. Sometimes, don't worry, we'll go back over it, or you can check it out on YouTube, and the whole show will be over on YouTube, but I normally go over the whole list before I jump off, Linus, so I appreciate you here. Understand that sometimes we just got to shut it down. Shut it down. And in your practice of celibacy, this is where masturbation. Now, some of my church folks, y'all going to get upset. But some folks who are not of the Christian faith have no issue with masturbation. And masturbation is still one of the safest ways to please yourself and not put yourself in a negative situation. But I do understand why a lot of my Christian brothers and sisters believe that it is a sin. And I'm not going to fight you on that. Hey, how we doing? Appreciate you. And you guys have just gotten here. Please let me know where you're from. But I can honestly tell you, it is better to get a rose and be alone with yourself, or it's better to go get yourself some Jergens hand cream and go take care of yourself than to be into some situations that's going to cause you to feel or be done dirty. And again, it comes back to your moral base. It comes back to your how you feel, your faith. And so again, as a man of faith, there's just certain things I understand that certain people of faith are not into, but I am a former health teacher. Hey, Durham, North Carolina. I'll be in North Carolina next week. And the reason why it's important is because the situation is, you have to realize that you do not want to put yourself in proximity to somebody else when you are healing. You don't want somebody ripping off the Band-Aid that you put on and putting you in a worse situation that you were in while you were trying to heal. And physical stimulation is a way to be able to curb the feelings that you have. Hey, Rich, what's going on, sir? It is important, but again, comes back to your moral code, your moral base. That's why I can't tell you what to do. I can only suggest to you what to do, because each person has to take into account who they are, what they practice, what they believe, and where they are with their feelings. As a counselor, my job is to take it in a situation of where you are, not how I feel, not what I believe. If there's just certain things I can't deal with, I will tell you. That is why, hey, thank you. I'm good. That is why my discovery session, the first one, is free, because I might not be the counselor for you. All right, so that is all 10. I'm going to go over all 10. Ellie has actually already started, so I'm going to catch up with her. So again, if you're just getting here, I appreciate it. Although I can't sign off on that personally, I do understand. No, I got you, Jeff, and that's why I said it that way. It is a choice, an individual choice. But again, it all depends on where your moral compass is for you. But I think what happens is too many people project their compass onto others. I don't. I just simply say, here's options. You choose what option works for you. And as a person that works with churches, I understand why that is not an option that a lot of people in the church pick. I get it. But that doesn't mean it's not an option for somebody else. And it doesn't mean that that's not an option. It's just not an option that somebody of a particular faith will choose. But we have to give all the options and let people decide what's best for them, because only somebody knows what they're dealing with. My job as a counselor is to create options, give you an understanding of the options, and then we discuss the changes that you need to make to help you find peace of mind or happiness with your sexual situation. All right, so let's go back over to 10 before I get ready to jump off. Number 1 is meditation and mindfulness practice was number 1. Number 2 was exercise. Number 3 was creative outlets. Number 4 was talking to a therapist or a counselor. Number 5, yoga. Did I get past you there, Ellie? Yeah, number 4 is talk to a therapist or counselor. Number 5 was yoga. Number 6, breath work, which is just simply breathing exercises. Number 7, and I know I'm going fast, you can type, Ellie, so I'm going to slow down just a little bit. So number 6 is breath work, which is just simply breathing. Breathing helps you to reduce anxiety, reduce sexual frustration. It allows you to be in control. Breathing exercises. Number 7, avoiding triggers. Do the best you can to stay away from the things that will trigger you sexually so you can remain in control. Number 7, avoiding triggers. Number 8, engage in non-sexual activities. As easy and as simple as that sounds, many of us do not do it. Reading, watching movies, spending time in nature, swimming, whatever. But engage in non-sexual activities. Number 9, setting healthy boundaries. Good afternoon, Curvy. Number 9, setting healthy boundaries. You have some work to do. I got you. We here to help you. But I thank you for giving me this idea, Perfectly Imperfect. And I don't want you to go away with a negative thought. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to start journaling, but I want you to decide how much time you're going to give you before you go and deal with your past. Whatever that past is, I want you to start trying to find ways to gain strength, to open up those doors, because until you deal with past situations, we cannot change the current you. We got to be able to put that past negative energy to rest, and we got to find a way to help you figure out what you're going to do. Start journaling, so this way when you decide to get with a third party, you have information to give them if you're dealing with a lot of emotion. All right? You have a wonderful weekend, darling. And number 10, practice celibacy. Put that thing on hold. Put that thing away. Close those legs. Just chill. Pleasure yourself if you need to, if that is your thing. If you're not a person that practices that, put that thing on hold. 30. Wow. Look at that. We got there, huh, Ellie? Look at that. 31,000 likes. I appreciate you. So, I got a couple of minutes before I get ready to get off. I do have a counseling session this afternoon. I will answer any questions that you guys have if you do, so please let me know. By all means, come on. Clam up. Clam up? Really? What's that mean? What does clam up mean? Is that a question? Please let me know what clam up means. I didn't see that one on the list. Oh, there we go. There we go. But actually, just put it away. I was getting nervous. I said, L came in on a good thing. I was like, are you blowing me up? I didn't know if you was being negative there. I know Ellie was about to hit the button. That's why I had to ask. I was like, I know Ellie was looking like... I was like, no, Ellie, wait, don't block him yet. I know Ellie was like, what we doing with that? But yeah. Yeah. Ellie was like, what was it? Like, I know he ain't talking to the host like that. Ellie was like, Tommy, your ghost, what you need? But no, I respect you. Yeah, I saw it. She was like, hold up. It's okay. And because I remember who you were, I was like, clam up. Okay, let's give me some more. I normally give a person a chance to jump off the cliff. So, but I know Ellie was close, like, because sometimes I just see people blocked. I'm like, okay, she got him. But again, I got about 2 or 3. I got about 5 minutes, guys. Any questions before we go? I want you guys to have a wonderful weekend. I thank you for tapping the screen. I hope that you enjoyed the show. Come by my page. But again, the biggest thing is I do have a new book that's coming out. It's probably going to be after July 4th because I know a lot of people got things going on for the weekend. But it's 12 steps to recovering from toxic relationships. And I have really learned a lot about toxic relationships. And I'm hoping that the book, I know the book is going to help people. But somebody had reached out to me the other day and they said the reason why they didn't want to pre-order is because you got a lot of people out here stealing people's money and they don't feel comfortable paying for something and waiting on it. And I understood that. So I can respect that. So anybody that is interested in being on a mailing list, email list because they want to purchase the book, but they want to make sure that when they purchase, they can get the book. I'm going to drop one of my websites in the chat, and you can go by and actually leave me your email address. leave me a little note that you're interested in purchasing the book when it comes out. And what I will do is when the book comes out, I will send you an email and you'll be one of the first to actually get it. bravenpublishing.com. There we go. So there's my website right there at the bottom. Go to the website, click on where it says contact us. Fill in the information, your name, your email address, and just simply put, I'm interested in the new book. I'll get that and I'll be able to create a list and I'll reach out to you when the book is ready for your support, because I didn't know so many people were doing people dirty on social media like that. I know that there's criminals out here, but I have started to notice that over here on TikTok, there's a lot of people that's asking for money but giving nothing. And I have a problem with that. So you won't see my Cash App or PayPal or any of that inside my what's name. All my links are with all my professional links. I'm going to work for mine. I don't want you to give me anything. If you want to give a donation for the kids that I work with, that's even on my link tree as well. But just to give me money because I'm in front of you, no, we're not doing that. If you notice, I don't even solicit gifts because I just don't feel me telling you to give me money for what I do. I'm already a professional. I get paid for the counseling that I do. And I get paid a lot. So why would I, in a free situation, try to now squeeze money out from the people I deal with? If that's what people do, that's on them. I just don't. They create a page and ask for your credit. Exactly. And I didn't realize, let me see who said that. Is that Elaine? Did I get that right, Elaine? I want to make sure I said that right. Elaine, you know, the crazy part is I've been selling books since 2007. I've seen the changes on social media. Here on TikTok, I've seen some things that I do not like, is that I literally see people offering stuff for a fee, and I'm hearing all these people saying they did not get it. So one of the reasons why I tell people to do a Google search for me, you will see that I have been on the internet for years. I have spoken in a lot of different places, and I don't play these games, and my name doesn't come up to anything negative. I'm also not connected to any drama, and I'm not asking anybody to hand me money and I don't give them something. To me, that's disgusting because you make it bad for everybody else. And when that person reached out to me, and I don't want to give their name because I don't want to put them on blast, but I am so glad that they did. And they said, big man, I really want to support you, but there's so many crooks out here that I've tried to support other brothers and sisters and never got my stuff. So I like what you say. I really want to support this book. I just don't feel comfortable for pre-orders. And I get it. If you're not into the literary type thing, a lot of people don't pre-order anymore. They want to wait till the book is out and get it when they order it. I understand. So with that said, I did a video to let folks know it's okay. Yes, you were talking to me yesterday, and But I got you. And actually, you know what's funny? I also found out, Elaine, and I appreciate you, is that TikTok is actually suppressing the links to my professional pages. Like, you can go to my link tree, right? But when you click my personal websites, I have two. I have my publishing website. I have my counseling website. They're not letting people get there. Other people are getting there by either doing a Google search for me or going to my other social media pages. And I don't know what that is, because TikTok is the only app that suppresses people getting to me. But people find me through Instagram or Facebook or the other one. Actually, I gotta be careful even saying those because they'll get rid of the live. And that's just the way TikTok is. That's why I come on, but I'm on all of the sites because I'm here to try to help out. But this is what it is. And I'm on for business and meeting people, but I don't get into the foolishness. I just don't. And it's just a waste of time for me. But the one thing I do like being on is I get to meet a lot of tremendous people like Ellie. So listen, we got 13 people here in the group. Before I go, let's give Ellie some purple hearts because she does a tremendous job with the chat and she allows me to do what I do. So I want all of you that are still here, I should have asked the other folks before they left, let's give Ellie some purple hearts and let's put a little TY up to say thank you for the work that she does, because she does it volunteer-wise. And I am honored that she gives that time to me to help me do what I do. So if you're still here watching, please give Ellie some purple hearts and put a TY up to say thank you. Because when a sister reaches out and says, I'm going to help, and doesn't want anything for it, and I respect that, and I appreciate her. So let's just put some purple hearts up if you're here and you can hear me and you can see me. Put those up as a way to say thank you, because again, we have to not just give people their flowers, but we got to pay homage and respect to those that help us while they're here. Don't wait till things got negative. Don't wait till things have spiraled down to some foolishness. Why a person is helping you, thank them. And Ellie, I'll definitely reach out. Like I said, I'm leaving Wednesday morning, and I'll be heading to NC. I should get there sometime the afternoon. And so I'll definitely reach out and would love to say hi and always meet and take a picture. That's another thing, too, is that, listen, don't be scared to meet people off of social media because you don't want anything. Just be able to meet people, to be able to put a face to the name and be okay. Let's get back to just sitting down and having conversations without it turning into something creepy or something nasty and negative. My wife and I joke about that all the time. We got to be able to just turn this into something that works for us. So, listen, this is what I do. And so I'm not about trying to get into anything crazy. And my name is never going to be connected to nothing nasty and negative. Them days is behind me. So, again, Ellie, I appreciate you. All you guys that are here, I appreciate you. So, listen, guys, I'm going to get ready to go. So, one more time, I'm going to tell you the book comes out at the end of the month. I'm probably going to have it ready right after the 4th of July. But if it's ready before that, but again, go to the website. BravenPublishing.com. I just put it up in the group. Let me see if I can bring it up again. And what you simply do. Okay, I just pinned the post right there. Oh wait a minute, Ellie pinned the "I love you" post. Hold on 1 second. I'll put it up after Ellie. But yeah, I'll there we go. So I pinned the post. Oh no, I couldn't pin it. Let me see. Hold on a second. Oh, I couldn't pin it. Okay. Well, it is what it is. Oh, you took it? I took it down. Okay, no, you can pin. If you can pin the one on my website, it's not letting me do it. As I try to do it, says I can't. But, if you can. Because, again, if you go to my publishing website, just click on where it says Contact Us. Okay. And where it says Contact Us, put your email, your name, and just in the box where it says your reasoning, just put I'm interested in a new book. You'll automatically be added to the list, and when the book is officially ready, I will let you know. You'll see it on the website. It'll also be available where books are sold. Last thing before I go, and I want you to share this with all of the people who purchase books, because me and Elaine had this conversation. My books are always available anywhere books are sold, which means they're available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Walmart, everywhere, right? But the reason why you want to get a book from an author's website, if you can, Jeff Bezos holds authors up for a 55% discount. That is how he's able to put things on his site at a cheaper price. And because of that, the author loses money compared to you getting the book from them directly. Buy a book from an author directly at a signing or from their website. But if you have to buy from Amazon, because that's just what you do, the reason why Amazon gives you such discounts, even gives you their own credit card, is because on the back end, they are beating independent business folks over the head. So I want you to understand that. They take 55% off the top before you can put your book on their site. And that is why you see the book always cheaper on Amazon than anywhere else, because they are holding the author, especially an independent author, hostage. And if you go to my publishing website, you'll see that I've been working with authors for years. There's quite a few books that we've worked with. And my wife and I have worked with over 50 different authors since 2010. So I know a little something about what I talk about. So, guys, I want you to have a wonderful weekend. Ellie, I want to tell you thank you. I'll be back next Friday, my regular time, 11:30. So, again, if your kids is out of school, happy summer to them. I hope that they did well. To you parents that now don't know what you're going to do for the summer, pay that extra money and get them into some type of camp. Mine is going to the Y. Her mom is going to pick her up today and take her to the YMCA for the registration. I think I already registered because I have a counseling session. But she's going to the Y next week, and she'll be there during the day. We ain't going to be hanging around this house doing nothing. She's going to be doing something. So you got to pay that extra money. I know, and if it's financially unable, try to find what free programs that are out there if they're still there. I know they cut a lot of them. But again, guys, have a wonderful, safe weekend. I'll see you throughout the week. I'll be back on live next Friday. Ellie, have a wonderful weekend. There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. So listen, guys, if you need anything, just reach out. I'm here. God bless, guys. Take care.